Welcome in, everyone, to the Aurora Overwatch Clash Season 11. It is week number 2, and we move on to our second game of the day with the Spurt Syndromers taking on the horizontal Hoopoes. My name is Nave, joined alongside Booney on the cast and Greg on the prod. Booney, we got a couple of 0-1 teams looking to get redemption for week number 1.
Yeah, looking to bounce back here. The Hoopoes did go against your team in the first week. You know, a lot of people very high on that roster coming season, so potentially can hold your head higher after that one here. Hoopoes, you're speaking earlier. They got some weird lineups here. It's something we haven't seen before, but there is a lot of ringers to speak about in this game here, Nave. We have a Southwest ringing for the Hoopoes, for Squid on the tank. We have Swifters ringing for Banana Shake on the DPS, both for the Hoopoes, and then we also are going to have Flame of Jambo ringing for who was it on the
Kingsman Swag.
For Kingsman Swag, yes. So we're going into first map here. It's going to be Atlas, which is not something that we see very often actually in the season. You know, we're talking our last match how everybody picks Servasa, but if you become an Atlas specialist, then maybe you have to trick or treat your sleeves. And yeah, this was picked basically pretty quickly by the Spurt Syndromers. I mean, they got something cooking up here.
Yeah, interested to see what their strategy is here. Of course, with the ringers could change potentially, what you're doing, but we are going to see Southwest starting on the Reinhardt that we would expect out of Squid here. This roster for the Hoopoes definitely looks like their best one in week number 1 with Shinbone on the DPS, Squid on that tank. So excited to see them here. As they're going to roll up to high ground, it's going to be the Orisa for Carson with his Ramatra band going for this list. While from Dr. Drogo, Southwest kind of dodge there, and Shinbone already gets the first pick onto Dr. Yarro there. Southwest is trying to roll up. Lambo Jambo is going to trade out another one as well, trying to stay alive. He's going to get the healing from Hyperbole. As kills come through, it's going to be a nice first cap here, no kills.
Yeah, I don't know how Southwest survived all that. Like, they were completely isolated by the spinning there from Carson. There's a follow-up from the DPS, but just the excellent healing from Killjoy and her Purple Zero keeps Southwest standing, gets him to swing the hammer around, and Shinbone early pick leads to a fight victory. And especially with it being Dr. Darko gets the mate out of the equation. So a good start here actually so far from the Hoopoes and friends, we should say at this point. They are sporting 2 ringers of 5 players, so potentially a new game plan that wasn't expected here from the Syndromers to start things off. Oh, but a good
ring out here for the Syndromers. Carson dropping all the way out to point wall out. Southwest just once again caught, split from his team, trying to pin back door. Spear from Carson is going to catch him onto the wall, takes down the Reinhardt. Now charging forward into the back line, looking for Hyperbole. Is going to pick that one up as well. And it's going to be a good retake. 70% plus gain here for the Hoopoes. The Syndromers take it back.
Yeah, Hoopoes eventually are forced off this point as Carson makes a great play. The May wall from Jargo splits off the Ryan. Southwest charges but gets hit with a spear twice actually before they eventually go down. And Carson goes in the backline, finds pick on a Hyperbole on the back end there. So honestly, that's kind of expected that first fight to play out, but Southwest just survived. That time is going to get punished. Now Carson has Terror Surge to pair up with it, and Killjoy maybe early Casino Rush to start things off, but Hyperbole going way deep here. Does they get punished?
Yeah,
no, they get a pick anyway. What?
Torpedoes and Corgi going down first, getting the better of the Juno trade there. Southwest surging forward, looking for more kills, gets people low, and the rest of the team's able to finish it off here. Dr. Jargo, last one alive on point, does trade out one, but it's ended up being more of a stagger on him. 80+% here, and with these late kills, I don't think anyone from the Syndromers is going to be able to touch this one.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they all just respawn now. 95%. And I don't know how Hyperbole Zero got in, got a pick there, especially on the Corgi or the Torpedoes, and just stood there for floating in midair and found the pick they needed. So a great look here now for the Hoopoes. Good start, going up 1-0 here, and they used only the Casino Rush to get that flip and get this point, and now they're going to have basically 4 ults online, whereas for the other side they're not going to have 3. And he starts early here with that over protocol for Shimbo, and the Shatter finds 2. It's a big one. It's a big combo here.
Yeah, huge combo there for the Hoopoes. Shinbone clicking up 2 with that battle bot. The rest of the kills going to come through shortly after. Carson trying to trade out 1, not going to be successful. So the 2 ults finding their value here, and I want to talk about Shinbone on this Emra here. It's not a pick that we saw a lot from him last season. He's traditionally known as a flex DPS player, mostly that Tracer, Genji look we've seen in the past. But here on the Hoopoes team, they don't really have a traditional hit scan on this roster, and Shinbone, he's decided to play into this hit scan role and really step up.
Yeah, 10-1 we're now on the scorecard. Really nothing to complain about whatsoever. Find the opening picks they need and a big ult there to open things up. And I mean, Salvi is 60% to another shatter, by the way. They open up that. Oh, there's a pin on the Flame of Jambo mid. But Jamal finds 2! Both supports down. Jamal unleashes both shotguns. 1 for each support. and they're gonna put it right back on the back of Jamal Theory coming into full effect.
Jamal put the crown on his head. He's making it work. He's doing the big plays. The Reaper spin gets 2. It was an expensive fight though for the Syndromers. They had to use 4 ults for the flip. So, you know, ult advantage in the favor of the Hoopoes at least.
Ult advantage here. They're going to open things up with the Ray. Southwest will build the Shatter for the fight. Ray breaks out as well. Probably looking for a Shatter onto Jamal Corgi. There's a lot of targets there. Okay, we could also shatter the May with no follow-up, however. But here comes in Swifters with that. But they're going to get 1. Flame jumping down here early again, but the Orbital Ray might just bring him back here with the Hoopoes walking in. With the almost Jamal finds Swifters here. It's an even exchange. Jamal TPs away to safety.
Yeah, Carson though eventually just gonna bleed out. Jamal now nowhere left to go. Corgi last one alive. So the flip will come through. The ult late there looked like it was good enough for the Syndromers, but not quite. As Hoopoes take this back. Now ult kind of empty here. Killjoy 80% to their own Kitsune Rush. Only thing to work with. Shinbone 70% to their own BattleBot as well. Syndromers walking up, taking this rotate through the right side here. Playing very stacked. Jamal, the only one on this off angle. No, Carson making his way onto point. Wall out from Dr. Jargo. Not really going to split off anyone there. And Shinbone gets the first pick over onto the Jamal. Carson has made his way into the backline though. Is found by Fertila. This horse is putting in a lot of value too.
Holy.
Irissa now. Shinbone falling as well. Kitsune rush from Killjoy. Trying to keep this fight going now for the Hoopoes. And Dr. Jargo goes down. So maybe the Kitsune rush is making it work. Swifters now. Pike finding another one with Left with Chambo. And then the Kitsune rush for Killjoy was just enough to get the second point on the board here for the Hoopoes.
Yeah, the only ult they had, the ult they needed there. Yeah, I was getting concerned because they used 3 to fight 4 to get that flip as last red territory for the Syndromers, but it doesn't seem to matter here. And now with Dr. Jargo, we'll have the Blizzard where we walk into another Shinbone over at Protocol, and Southwest building these shadows extremely quick in this Brawl Mirror here. 10% to another one already. The wall comes over Jargo, but didn't get the kill on Southwest, and now big cooldown advantage here now for the side of the Hoopoes.
Blizzard out from Dr. Jargo. Southwest is so far in the back line, completely split off from the rest of his team. He's gonna go down. The Blizzard may not have froze the Reinhardt, but definitely split the team up to get that kill. Corgi gonna find a second on the Killjoy. First cap should be the way of the Syndromers this time.
Yeah, they were certainly in there, and now Jargo has a second perk online, the Freeze, so we're going to have Southwest has played this way more slow than they have been previously, and now you're going to walk into Casino Rush. Corgi can probably build a beat here for the fight really breaks out, as well as Carson Terror Surge, so the alt fight, this will be a lot of keys being pressed at the same time, but switch and finds Corgi, can't build left on the beat.
Jambo forced the TP in, he gets that Suzu down, tried to go with this Kitsune rush. Carson's gonna make it work fine too with the help of his own Terror Surge, but meanwhile the rest of his team has fallen behind him. Flip comes through, it's only the Irissa alive, trying to trace now are the Hoopoes looking for this extra kill. The stagger would be brutal, but it seems like Carson's gonna get out just barely.
With the help of that Mega Pack, they're gonna get out there. Corgi as well on the save. And that's gonna be a 3 ults versus 2 here, advantage for the Hoopoes, and they're gonna have that Killjoy. Casino Rush worked great last time. The Shadow comes through, does find Jamal, but they can't quite find the fall, but Killjoy is there with the kunai. Extra out of the way, and now over Protocol over the top to seal this fight up.
Yeah, they're going down with 50% counting now. Any lit staggers could be absolutely brutal. Swifters trying to look for Carson here, is chasing down the Irissa and this Lucio. Bike into Corgi, trying to look for the execute.
Jamal?
Just about not able to get it. Jamal doing a good job of just playing keep away from the Lucio there. Southwest pinning back. So they don't find any staggers here, but now we're coming up onto last fight territory for the Hoopoes on this map. Jamal, Death Blossom in hand. Corgi has the beat if they want to go with the beat engage to start this fight out. Kitsune rush in, beat from Corgi in response here, trying to make their way out the point. Someone needs to touch 5%. Dr. Jargo already down first though, it's going to be a huge problem. The rest of the team just gonna fall as soon as that beat ran out. Jamal, last ditch effort with the Death Blossom, not gonna get it done. And it is gonna be the Hoopoes getting a 3-0 here on Atlas to start off the series very strong.
Yeah, great look here. The Ringers of Southwest, the Swifters pulling their weight there. 26-3, 20-4, but Shinbone on this Emre was a shock for me there. I've not seen a Shinbone Emre and was making it work here. Down 2 other starting members, Ringers are a win and a loss. You lose your team coordination, but you could get some more skill, but nice shadow there from the Southwest Reinhardt. But Yeah, a great look here to start things off from the Hoopoes, bouncing back after last week. Syndromers still seem to be looking for some answers.
Yeah, we'll see if they can find those answers. Map number 2. Don't go anywhere after a short little break.
Epic.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Aurora Esports Overwatch Clash Season 11, Week number 2. The Hoopoes looked really strong in map number 1, getting their first win of the season over on Atlas. The Spurt Syndrome is going to take us over to Lijiang Tower now, with the Freya ban coming out for the Hoopoes and the Juno ban in response.
I think both very sensible bans. Dr. Jargo won last season the Shapeshifter Award for the performance on Spray specifically. And you can target out Hyperbole Zero, taking away that Juno that they learned from the 1v1 because looked very solid on it the entire season. So 2 very sensible bans here. And going into Lijiang Tower, not going to be probably any difference here between any of these teams. I think we're going to see the Reinhardt again for Southwest. Carson will probably go back on the Orisa. Or the Ramatra. Now the Ramatra isn't banned, actually. Yeah, and Shinbone is showing up the Signature Genji. Do this tick on this one because, I mean, the Shinbone Genji, we brought in the scouting report, was always a pleasure to watch. It's definitely by far, his best hero. And with how good he was looking last map on the Emre, I'm excited to see how he's leveled up this Genji as well.
Interesting to see what Swifters would go on then with the Genji taken away. It's probably the Tracer, a double flex. Could be very interesting. If they stay on the sim, I don't know if they're...
The Shion was looking good as well that last map.
The Shion potentially, yes, staying on that as well. We'll see. It's actually going to be the Caster Swifters. So interesting.
Wait, Genji Mirror.
On hit scan. Genji Mirror now. Both teams taking this a white room side. And actually, a counter chain here happened on point. Corgi got chained by Killjoy, but it's going to be able to get out of that one alive. Now both tanks moving their way over onto the point, giving up that white room angle. Southwest just getting punched down by Carson, though. Nowhere for the Reinhardt to go. He's going to go down early. Swifter is now in a lot of trouble. He's going to fall as well. It's a quick little 2K for the Ramatra there. And it should be the first cap going the way of the Syndromers.
Yeah, and now we're seeing how much harder this game becomes for Southwest with the Ramatra in play. Just with the form punching out through that shield. The displacement not needed with that Nanoswarm down there as well. But Shinbone comes in, finds Corgi, makes it difficult, but they are getting that pick and forced to back away now for the Hoopoes as first control here for the Syndrome as Carson continues to maintain the space.
We'll see, though. The Hoopoes seem like they want to take this fight, knowing that the other team is down to support. They think that's worth the trade. It's a nice pin from Southwest over onto Carson. Just going to take out that Ramatra all the way through right through. Nowhere for him to go except back to the spawn room. Rebel now in a lot of trouble, going to go down as well on the coast. And the flip comes right back through with the help of that nice pin from Southwest.
Yeah, just changed the entire trajectory of that fight. It was looking rough because actually, Carson was targeting out Swifters. Swifters had no role, caught in a Nanoswarm, but just a perfectly timed charge from Southwest saves not only the casting but also ices the Ramatra, gets that kill, and now no ults for either side right now, but Swifters close to a high noon. Southwest Shatter nearly online. Corgi is so low, it's coming through the choke, has to use a hat early here. So cooling advantage going the way of the Hoopoes for now. As Carson's come by, Carson's alone. Carson needs help.
He is going to be able to just use that shift to stay alive. But Swifters, the 3-man shadow for Southwest in the corridor. They tried to escape, but they fell right into the trap of the Reinhardt. It gets the job done there. The help of those 2 ults. They keep this snowball going here. 40+% now for the Hoopoes.
And a very cheap fight with how quickly Southwest building these shatters. High noon is definitely an ult in the game of Overwatch right now. Corgi will have the Kankai Sanctuary Killjoy able to match this one just right now, but Carson with the animation has to be the game maker here, has to be the game changer. Able to walk down Southwest and force them away for now and take control at this point here once again. I mean, a good chain, but Southwest gets stuck here, it might get punished.
Yeah, Southwest just trying to pin out, trying to stay alive, not to go both support out here for the Syndromers to try to turn this advantage into a full fight win. The counter Sanctuary out from Killjoy just to try to stabilize. Now the nano play here, Shinbone in the back line, looking for Corgi with the shift away. So the return of Western Zuzu and the chain! Corgi and Flambu Jambo shuts down the nano blade. What a incredible play by supports the Syndromer. Southwest trying to stall the point as long as possible. Swifters is going to finally take down the Mizuki, but the flip comes through. What a play.
Yeah, what a play there from the Mizuki. And I thought it was looking kind of over, honestly. Using both Casino and Kankai Sanctuary just to get out of the choke. I thought for sure Hoopoes had advantage there with going in with an Nanoblade. But Corgi shuts that whole thing down. Nice chain. And now they come back in with no ults here. Big advantage here now for the Syndromers. And Twitter dies mid-charge the high noon. And now here comes the Blade Dark Jargo to find a pick on the back of this one by Hyperbola. What a pin! Full blade shut down!
But Killjoy, he was so far in the backline, I don't know how he ended up on the Spurt Syndromer side of the map, but he was there. So ultimately, a nice pin from Southwest is just, to get the rest of his team out alive. Now, the Spurt Syndromers, they have ults to convert with here. Rebel has the overclock here on this coast angle. Carson with the Annihilation down main, popping the form already, looking for the Rebel down early. Overclock not to be able to be used here. Carson, if he decides to use the Annihilation, does on point. But Southwest gets the shatter just in time. Pin as well onto the Ramatra. Down he goes. Into the ultimates from the Syndromers, finding no value here as the cap's going to come back through for the Hoopoes. Looking for it. Last fight now.
I mean, both support lines are going ballistic this map. Killjoy find the pick there on the right shower, shuts down the one ult they wanted to use early to open things up. Shimbone? Wait, hold on. Oh, okay. It's not left victorious just yet there, my man. We got one more touch here to come in, and we'll see where side. But Nano does come in over on and another pin on the Carson Southwest. It's but the Nano deflected flame strike and Swifters. This is crazy right now.
Yeah, Kitsune rush here for the Syndromers, so not all is lost. Desperation here on point. Corgi in a lot of trouble, has the Sanctuary, gonna throw it down on point. Fast ditch effort for the Syndromers. Carson back on the Doomfist here, brings them back into 5. Pergola going down.
Another pin!
Killjoy. TP just there to stay keep alive for now. And Southwest with the Fire Strike takes down the opposing Mizuki. Swifters with the help of the Flashbang, gonna get the job done on Dr. Jargo, and as well as the DPS ults just to seal it. Crazy back and forth point, but in the end the Hoopoes gonna win this one out.
Yeah, but that whole point was just insane. You know, Shinbone trying his best there to bring it the Syndromers back in the half there, but team is there to help out. Another nice little Nanowave and Hyperbola over on towards Southwest to get that Reinhardt swinging. And yeah, this is a much closer affair though. This map looks way closer. It appears that the Syndromers are kind of understanding now how the Hoopoes want to play this series, and you know, gotta go shout out to Corgi and Flan Jimbo again, a great showing on the support lane there of Control Center, and now in more open area, I think you probably got to favor over Rice Shower on the Sojourn with way more open sightlines here compared to you know, the Swifters Cassidy.
We'll see though, Southwest has been a menace here. So many pins that have just completely ended fights, taking out the opposing Armada. Let's see if we can do it anymore. It's going to be the Pharah for Shinbone here instead of the Genji. This more open point, but Carson actually takes down the other DPS first. And the TP out, Hyperbola caught off the side. Nowhere else for him to go, but back to the spawn room. And so the first fight so good here for the Syndromers, despite this Pharah pick.
Yeah, it's probably the far pick there, but I mean, Corey is hitting just some nasty chains with Mizuki. Like, they're very nice. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing here from this Mizuki. And now Carson has full control of this bridge. You know, Shinbone can't quite find the angle they want to mark this L down as Rice Shower continues to pelt them down, throw bullets. And now going through this White Room area, it looks like a bit of a split approach here. 3 and 2 here, Bridge and White Room. We'll see if Syndrome is recognized and decide to push in one.
Carson in a lot of trouble on point though, Southwest just swinging. Gonna use that form to just try to turn it back, but eventually it's gonna run out, just forced to block. Now, Southwest opportunity to walk forward onto point. The bridge has been completely taken over by the Hoopoes as well, as Shinbone has found his way into Dojo, so all the angle control in favor of the Hoopoes right now, but Ray Shower hits the rail, takes Shinbone out of the sky, does get traded by Hyperbola. Dr. Drago with another onto Southwest, looking for more in the backline. Sleep not gonna do enough to save Hyperbola's life, and it's another good fight from the Syndromers.
Yeah, I sent a couple people there on the off angle there, being the Shinbone and Killjoy, taking that bridge control. They fight inside Dojo, but there's just enough peel from Flammo Jimbo with the Suzu to keep Rice Shower standing, and then that also helps them find the opening pick over onto our Shinbone. Once that's gone, the entirety of your back flank is being exposed, and your front line just walked out by Carson. So the Syndromers are playing this extremely well right now, and they're going to have a lot of ults here to pay off. They've used none so far. This is going to be a Q-fest here, named who can press his button better.
Nano High Noon coming out here for Swifters, walking through, in from Southwest, trying to catch on a Carson. Not going to connect, but the High Noon hits one at the Corgi. The rest of the ults here coming through as well. But it's not going to do anything for the Syndromers. It's a complete team wipe, and the flip comes through for the Hoopoes.
Yeah, complete team wipe, and that's exactly where they want to take that fight. Over on that bridge, you don't have time to outrun the High Noon Cassidy, the Nano Cassidy. They're on this High Noon. They find the opening pick, and then on top of this one, Shinbone just hits the retreat with the barrage. And to win that for 3 ults is pretty good exchange speed when you got the Annihilation and the Casino Rush out from the other side. You'll limitate these. If Southwest can hit another shatter here, they have all series. We're probably going to a pretty close tie here on the point, but Nano comes out for our Blade from Jargo. See if I find it, but Shinbone, oh my god. 2026 Dragon Blade.
Yeah, Dr. Drago just a little bit more split. Rebel trying to keep the fight going now with the overclock. Shatter from Southeast on point.
Like
It's
that.
on 2. Pin on the Carson. Gonna take down the Ramatra. The Sanctuary now. That last bit of support. Going to expire, excuse me, as Corgi, last one alive, just gonna go down. It's another disaster for the Syndromers. They had 3 ults to work with. None of them find any sort of value. And once again, the Shatter from Southwest makes the difference.
And Hyperbole close to here, another nano clip for a nano barrage from Shimbo. But do I gave a shout out though to Andrew for another 5 get to subs in the chat. Appreciate that as always. Thank you so much for supporting the community. We appreciate it. Anyway, but yeah, coming back here, Shimbo will have barrage. Hyperbole Zero probably doesn't have the nano in time to get him on the rotate here, but nothing in the bank for the Syndromers. And it was looking so promising early on. If they take this fight slow, they're going to lose this map and lose it. Oh, Shimbo finds Rayshard on the rotate here. Nasty looking at Farah.
So it's a big problem for the Syndromers now. They don't really have any ults to work with. Dr. Dardo trying to look for something. The Swifters in the backline. Carson going all the way through, punching into Hyperbola. Takes down 2. The Ramatra, maybe the hero theory in the end. Shinbo still alive on point. Barrage in hand, but doesn't need it. Gets a 2K without his barrage now. Just Carson alive. He has the ult. Rebel has come back from spawn now, so maybe they can keep this going, but no supports. So they have to kill the enemies before they die first. Rebel does take Shinbone out of the sky finally, and Killjoy forced to TP away. Corgi now back from spawns. The Syndromers done just enough to survive, and Flammo Jambo close to the Kitsune rush.
It'll be matched here by the Nano High Noon once again. Killjoy have that considered to match here. Can Carson or Rayshard find an opening pick to start things up? As the Nano High Noon there. The pin over onto Carson. He gets caught with the Nano High Noon.
Beautiful. Southwest in a little bit of trouble, but the Sushi from Killjoy gonna keep him nice and healthy. It's a 3K for Swifters before he finally goes down. It's not gonna matter though. The Hoopoes gonna win off the fight. They're gonna win the map 2-0, and already got a match point in the series.
Yeah, and match point in the series already here now, and just Shimbone again, 25-5 on the Genji / Far picks on Lijiang Tower. With a fantastic showing, finding the picks, finding the final blows in the need, and Mosin gets to play the game on top of everything as well. 2 play the game for Shimbone in 2 maps. Gotta like what you're seeing there. It's a much closer affair though on Lijiang Tower. Very back and forth, came down to just ultimately ult usage. You know, we saw the Syndromers use 4 ults or 3 ults or something like that in that lost fight at about 20% for the Hoopoes, and they just took that and ran straight to the bank with that snowball. And now we're at match point here. And the bans are still probably favoring out the side of the Hoopoes as they got more to work with.
Yeah, Hoopoe is currently running away with the series. We'll see if the Syndromers have anything else left in the tank to show us map number 3. But for now, we're going to take a short little break. Don't go nowhere. More Overwatch Clash continues after this.
beats are the purest, prove it. Prove it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Overwatch Clash Season 11, Week number 2. The Horizontal Hoopoes are up 2-0 in the series, looking to close us out here on Runesapi, selected by them as the Spurt Syndromers chose to do ban first, and they're going to ban away the Reinhardt that was so problematic in the first 2 maps. The Hoopoes banning out the Reaper as well, forcing Jamal to stay on the bench here.
Does force Jamal, but before we get into that, I do want to say again a huge thank you to Andrew for 17 more gifted community subs. The Saudi oil baron that is Andrew coming in clutch here. Thank you so much for supporting the show and the league as always. But yeah, coming in here, Warblehawk now in on DPS for Shinbone. Unfortunately, our Shinboners had to be sheathed for a bit. He'll return in map 5 potentially should we go there. But right now, we're looking for a map victory from the Syndromers, and we are seeing a similar look to what we saw, but Corgi is on the Iliari here instead of the Mizuki. At least for starters, I think they're going to lock this up for now and walk out with it.
Yeah, surprising considering that Southwest is actually over onto this Ramatra now with the Reinhardt ban. This is what we saw in week number 1 as well, with the Reinhardt ban. So not a surprise there. You would think playing into Ramatra, Mizuki's a lot stronger. There's no shield to block the chains. But they're going to try something different. I mean, I like the idea of changing it from map number 2. It didn't work, of course. So try something new here. As they take this 5 or rotate through coast angle, the Hoopoes haven't taken a lot of angles. The Swifters has stolen away the bot early here, so they're going to get the push going early, while the Spurt Syndromers are just kind of standing around and doing nothing.
Yeah, eventually they're going to walk in here, force out Killjoy, TP back Swifters, so they kind of have main control right now, but later form here for Carson. Suzu does bit forced though from Flambo Jambo, so right now both Ron just kind of punching at her, trying to get anything to work. The Iliari pylon putting some overtime to keep Jark standing, and this is still the first fight here. Nobody's really fallen just yet. Nobody in danger either. Both teams are just exchanging ram shields, ram slows, and punches, and eventually Carson might win out here with the later form. Swifters does take down Corgi's pylon, so down that Iliari healing for a bit here. Still pushing this forward. Warblehawk caught inside by Hyperbole Zero with the torpedoes, finally opens things up, and that's the ticket they needed.
Yeah, I think the idea for the Syndromers, they wanted to play slow to give Corgi more value with that pylon, with that left click that makes Aurora so powerful. But Hyperbola, those good torpedoes, just gonna shut them down there and end that fight. Now they get the push moving significantly here. Ult-wise, both teams pretty even. The supports for the Hoopoes slight bit ahead. So we're looking to see Killjoy get this Kitsune rush up first here. The bot, because those extra few meters they got from Swift at the start, is already going to get around this corner, which is huge. No way for Carson to stop them. And Killjoy getting the first pick as well onto Corgi. Going to mean that there's more problems now for the Syndromers. Carson walking forward, trying to look for something. The Suzu from Flambo Jambo gets blocked by the shield of Southeast. So Carson just forced to keep blocking. Kitsune rush now from Killjoy. Carson, Ramatra, the Annihilation does do enough to keep him alive, and Southwest chased so far for the kill that he goes down instead. Dr. Jargo, trying to stop this bot from hitting the checkpoint, is going to die for it, but now Carson is here instead. Swifters in the back looking for trades, but Rebel's going to take that down. Eventually the Syndrome's going to win, and it was only 1-for-1 on the ults.
Yeah, and Southwest going way too deep there, try to chase down the kill onto Carson, cost their team the checkpoint. They are going to have 4 ults on their side, walking into 4 of the other one. But the big advantage here is probably going to be Flambo Jambo with the Kusunura shot line ready to walk in, allow Carson to be way more aggressive with their forms. But the Dark point's so low, they get Hyperbole. Hold on, Rice Shower. The captain comes through and finds the pick they need.
Corgi going with the Captive Sun as well. I think it missed.
Oh my god.
Out of that. And Southwest, once again, going a bit too deep on these Ramatra guys.
Yeah, Bro must think he's still on that Reinhardt with all the shield and armor, but yeah, just get melted and goes over on the Sigma here. On Runas, I don't think I've ever seen a Sigma on Runesapi, especially into a Genji Ramatra. This is gonna be tough for Southern to make work, but I mean, hey, if the Rock could do something, I guess.
And someone else still here for the Syndromers, looking to take the lead. Dr. Jargo's fighting Swifters on the side, gets the kill with the blade, overclocks from both teams, as well as the Kitsune rush. It's a 2K for Dr. Jargo, he's made his way up to the high ground, slicing down Warblehawk. And the checkpoint and the lead gained for the Syndromers. Killjoy might get staggered here too.
And they are going to, and yeah, I mean, both captains pop the overclock at the same exact time, get 0 kills with it, but obviously Rice Shower has more aura with theirs as their team cleans up around it. and gets the checkpoint now. Big advantage here for the side of the Syndromers as they have the ults building up for Carson, close to this annihilation. The Swifters are the only one online. Has to come up huge with this one, but there's so much to deal with just the push away from Corgi, the Susan from Flambeau. It's going to be tough for Swifters to find anything with this ultimate.
Bot just being contested by both the tanks right now. Swifter is still sitting on the high ground. Dr. Jargo trying to contest it, but he's going to go down to the left click of the Shion there. Now Rebel in a lot of trouble.
Oh, what a rock.
Directly to her face, and Execute takes him out of the sky as well. Corgi just going to follow the point. And no ults used there for the Hoopoes. They're going to take the bot back and try to regain their lead.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you don't need the ultimate if you're Swifters. If you just go in and find picks for free in the neutral game, able to hold on to that one and allows the team to build up towards the next cycle. Killjoy pretty close to their Casino Rush. Carson will have the Annihilation walking up here. It's going to be so tough for Southwest to maintain the space with Carson having his ultimate online. We'll see. It's up to Warberhawk and Swifters to really set things up here because the tank line is going to be walked down momentarily. In fact, like right now.
They've stole the checkpoint, though. The Syndromers didn't really do a good job of watching the fight. Swifters now going in with the spree. Could just ruin the backline. Zuzu already used from Flambo Jambo. TP's in as well. Swifters getting a third onto Dr. Jargo. It's only Carson alive on point here. Annihilation eventually going to run out. And with that late kill on the Ramatra, the lead is surely to go in favor now of the Hoopoes.
Yeah, the spree from Swift is just massive there. On top of Casino from Killjoy, brings them over the finish line here at that checkpoint. They might get a touch here, though, before they get the lead. Can Dr. Jargo now over on the May? Way more frontline pressure, knowing that South is on this Sigma. They're not. They just didn't get. They had a chance to lead, but they just threw it away for nothing because they still maintain this awkward position on the corner as all the Titans going the way of the Syndromers, but a big flux here from South. And Swifters again finds two up in the back line, and that's going to do it. That's going to be lead here for the Hoopoes.
Yeah, Swifters and Killjoy just went on a flank together in the side. It was originally Rebel who tried to fight them out with a 2v1 in favor of the Sojourn, and they pick up 2 kills, completely winning the fight. And plus the flux on top of it onto Carson just sealed the deal there. Lead continuing to grow now for the Hoopoes. See if the Spurt Syndrome has anything left here for us. A double support ult in hand, but with the skipper already down, it's going to cause more problems. Slow is good, and the Casino Rush now forward Cube. It's a nice roll from Dr. Jargo. Does take down the opposing tank, and Killjoy had to TP in further into the back. Swifters now making his way over a point, but he's going to go down. And the Syndromers find a stabilization and look to get back in this map. And
now a stagger here potentially as Killjoy as well. Killjoy is staying back here looking for a kill. They're going to die the Slorb. They're not going to get staggered, but they're going to get far spawn here as well. And with only 20 meters separating either of these teams, any seconds off that bank on these contesting is going to be huge and massive, especially when you're going to have this blizzard from Dr. Jargo quickly. The Captain's Son on top of Right Shower's Overclock. Both captains once again kind of leash you all at the same time, and so you get to pick first.
Rebel on this coast angle, looking potentially for an overclock. Just gets fought though by Warrock and Swifters there. Does have the Aurora pylon in hand. So should be able to stall this one out in one spot. Warrock goes with the overclock first. Gets Captain Thunder out from Corgi. Spree looking to catch the Aurora out of the sky. Oh. Corgi flies so high in the air that Swifters can't catch up. Carson on Annihilation on point, picking up 2 more kills. Killjoy and Hyperbole, only ones left. It's 3K for the Ramatra, and the Spurt Syndromers are going to take the lead here with 2 minutes left.
And that's a disastrous fight. You lose that with your Overclock, with your Spree, and your Casino Rush, and basically there's a 3 exchange on the other side as well. Ray Shower has Overclock still ready to be unleashed. This is tough here. Hyperbole Zero will have to use this Guna Ray to get any space back in this choke, because right now Carson maintains the space and controls this area.
We'll see if the Syndromers choose to use an overclock here, or are they just going to hold the ults for potential last fight scenario.
Well, Swifters might go too deep.
Just punching Swifters. The Shion in a lot of trouble, but it's a huge rock from Southwest to keep the Shion alive. Overclock now from Rebel, trying to look for anything. Southwest is really low on cart, just trying to back away. Punches out from Carson. Another rock onto the Ramatra. Flux here as well. Catches 2. Dr. Jargo has the block. Carson, no such luck with the shield. Does do enough to keep him alive through that one. still anyone's game here. Though Rebel falls down first here. It is a continued rush on point, but Dr. Jugger down as well. Syndrome is still losing one in fight. Carson punching through in the help of this Kitsune rush. Flambo Jambo, Corgi so low. But Carson doesn't care. It gets 3. Another one as well. Southwest eventually going to fall. Swifter steals the cart though in the middle of that.
There's the enemy turret.
But you're not concerned about that at all if you're the Syndromers, because you had to lead the entire time. That bot didn't move a single inch for what felt like minutes on end. And now they're going back. Our Pro Zero almost got caught out there with Corgi. And now Corgi's going to have this Captain Sun. You're going to have the Nation. You're going to have the Blizzard. So many good point contest ults here now for the Syndromers. They can honestly just play for bot control. You see that Ray? Instant disengage here. You see a great play now by Syndromers. They have the ults to win this out. They know that. They're playing for next corner. They can't get snagged out though.
Forced to use block, and the spree from Swifters just trying to follow that one. It's a Captain Sun though onto the Shion. Gonna trade it 1 for 1 in the end. Carson now blocking on point, but Warbler Hawk on the flank takes down the opposing captain. Captain dipped here on the back line. Carson with the annihilation on point. But it's a huge split. Southwest, the only one left there, gonna go down. It's a 2K for the Alari. Killjoy, last ditch effort now on point with the Kitsune rush. Swifter's back on the Tracer, hunting for Flambo Jambo. Does take down the Kiri, but the Ramantra still alive on point. Flambo Jambo, nowhere, coming back down too. Swifters eventually going down. Rubberhawk last to touch. And the Syndromers gonna win their first map of the series and the season. Take us to map number 4.
Yeah, good little bounce back there. You got up to like a 9-0 lead, but you end up losing that one. But you bring it back with some good ult uses there at the end. And honestly, just absolutely masterclass on their monster there by Carson. Was just fun to watch them play this in and out against the Sigma, especially. Different style for sure. Their monsters are kind of used to in the mirror, but making it work. Swifters was trying their darndest to bring it back for the squad with all the great spree kills as well as early picks, but at the end of the day, just Carson, you see that the 30 more seconds of 39 to be exact, 39 more seconds of objective time is the difference maker here. And now, unfortunately, Southwest is a lot back on the Reinhardt, so we'll see if we can maintain this tank duel.
Spurt Syndromers take their first map of the series and of the season. Now looking for a reverse sweep to potentially get their first win as well here in week number 2. We'll see what map 4 has in store with us after this break. Don't go anywhere.
These beats are the purest. Roll it.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Aurora Esports Overwatch Clash Season 11, Week number 2. The Spurt Syndromers do the first step of reverse sweep by winning away map number 3 there. Looking to keep it going as we move into map number 4. It is going to be King's Row as selected by them, because once again, the Hoopoes have taken a ban here. Instead of map pick, they choose to ban away the Mei from Dr. Jargo that he played last map. Syndrome is going to ban this Ana in response. Booney, we were talking about these bans in the break. We're a little surprised with this Ana ban, but there isn't really a lot of good targets for the Syndromers to ban.
Yeah, there really isn't. I'm kind of shocked though, because I mean, it's a really good ban from the side of the Hoopoes to protect not only Swifters on the Cassie and the Shion, but also Warblehawk and the Sojourn. So I think banning that Mei out not only takes out Jargo from that position, knowing you're playing as Reinhardt, it does force the Protect to come for your DPS, and then you're kind of an awkward spot if you are the Syndromers, because yeah, what do you ban? Their supports play the same thing as yours, so like it's tough to find a target. So they just went with the Ana to make sure that Hyperbole Zero or Killjoy can't play their best character, and they'll take it from there. But right now, Jamal has been brought back in here for the DPS over on towards the Reaper. Warblehawk, potentially knowing that they have the Reaper in, will go over onto the far right here. Obviously scared to go, but wait, Jamal, hold on! Just takes the far out of this guy and clips their wings.
Dr. Jargo as well goes up in the air. Nice 2 bolts onto Hyperbole Zero. Takes down the opposing Juno as well. It's a nice start here for the Syndromers. Dr. Jargo on the Freya. First time this season we're seeing that out of him. His pick, we talked about it, it did so much work last season. So excited to see that as well. Freya might be pretty good into the far as well. Just 2 bolts on the far, it takes completely out of the sky. So Warblehawk needs to be very careful with this one.
And Jamal forced on the Suzu here early, so they can't take the engagement here. Now Jamal drops in and finds out at the East. Doesn't matter. did your job. We got the pick on the Reinhardt Force, Suzu. Jamal in the theater is going crazy right now. They can't seem to displace this Reaper for a little bit. I mean, look at the all-charge. Jamal only has 500 damage, but it has 2 final blows. Absolutely coming in clutch here. And now Spurt doesn't have a high noon, but walking into Dr. Jargo with this Ebola shot. High noon will force space though.
Yeah, walking forward onto point now, Swifters. It's a good job by the Syndromers just to kite this one out, wait it out, and it is over now. Dr. Jargo with the bola in hand, goes all the way to the back line, hits it.
Oh, finds that Juno.
Suzu not going to be there to keep him alive. Southwest is so low in the back line. Corgi does finally get the shots from long range. Carson using Annihilation just to make sure that Swifters goes down here. Both supports going to keep this Ramatra nice and healthy as Corgi finds a second, a Warbler Hawk, and the hold is really good for the Syndromers here.
Yeah, it's going very well. They're being very economic as well, only using the Bola shot, which at this point is a cooldown for Freya, and only the Annihilation to keep this down. Now 2 minutes left in the time bank for a point A push. Some ults coming here online, Casino for Killjoy, Shatter, and Barrage here in the middle of the fight for the Hoopoes. So see, King Corgi gets the window off in time to get a good position, but Southwest is hunting for a Shatter right now, waiting for Carson to put that shield down.
Kings and Swag and Swifters are fighting in the Mega Room. Kings and Swag just gets the TP out back to safety.
Shatter.
Kitsune Rush on point. Carson just getting swung at by Southwest. Shatter in hand. Window comes out from Corgi. Shatter goes blind. It doesn't anyone. The Warbler Hawk in the back line. It's a huge barrage. Getting 4K. The captain bringing the team with
the 5K.
A 5K for the Farah. Putting an exclamation point on point A.
Yeah, finally coming alive there with just where the team needed the most. I mean, if you just press tab real quick, you see Warblehawk with 7 elims. Next highest on their team is 3. So the captain is dragging this team across the finish line there on point A. The Shatter Southwest going wide, but Warblehawk 2 goes absolutely Thanos mode. I read chat and just my brain clicked and read out loud. I apologize to anybody else. But Jamal in the back line. Ooh, Squid there for the peel. Almost got her for the 0, but down your Jamal. It's gonna be tough to hold the choke because they back up for a little bit. Dark Dragon might get punched here as well.
Got hit by a fire strike mid-air by Southwest there. With the Suzu and the peel from Corgi. It's gonna do just enough to keep the Freya alive here. Bola once again, as well as this Death Blossom from Jamal. We've seen him go on the flank several times before. He does it again here, but it is going to be an early fight. Bola that time not going to connect with anyone, and Carson just punching. Does get the lamp though, keep alive. Pin Southwest that time, not going to connect. And Dr. Jargo with a few kills after the Bola is going to clean up that fight there. Did cost him 2 ults, but Dr. Jargo already has 65% to ult.
Yeah, no, that Jargo flank was huge. It put in some pressure on a high purple 0, got the opening pick with that Bola shot, as well as forcing Swifters to hide inside bookstore, and then hits the fadeaway shot mid-dash in the bookstore through the door, through the corner. So yeah, Dr. Jargo with a nasty fight there. And now you're going to have almost another Bola shot ready to go, and Carson can maintain the space here. High purple 0 forces the orbital ray, and Carson can kind of lift in here with the overhead. But Jamal presses the Q button and finds Swifters, and a purple 0 has to back away. Jamal with 2. Jamal looking for more on the cart. It's just Hyperbole 0 trying to get the pick, but it's just a lone Juno against the world, and a bit of a stagger there as well. Killjoy getting walked down, trying to get back to spawn with the help of the Suzu, but won't get it there as Carson is there with the pummel punches to get an express ticket right back to spawn room doors.
They do not call him King Jamal for nothing. This guy is making plays every single time. It just seems like the Hoopoes just don't realize that he's in the backline. These flanks are perfectly timed to catch them off guard. Picks up 1 with the Death Blossom, 2nd with the shotguns afterward, and he's on the flank again. This time though, Warblehawk, he could get to catch him out. And finally they take down to the pick here. It's a Shatter solo onto Carson. High noon as well to make sure that Ramatra goes down. Did cause them a Kitsune Rush as well. 2 for 1. I think the Hoopoe is going to take it.
Yeah, the Kitsune Rush, High Noon, Pin, Shatter into Carson. You can tell who they wanted dead there that fight, and they definitely accomplished that goal. You did have to use Kizumong Swag to use that Kitsune Rush there as well. 60 seconds left in the bank. Warblehawk with yet another barrage ready to be unleashed at any moment here. But Carson can play this slow. Gets the Annihilation. We might see a point B hold action, which is very rare on King's Row.
We'll see though, but Hawk once again has the barrage in hand that came so big on point A. We'll see if it can happen again here. Carson making his way
fantastic.
forward. Barrage out, but the annihilation from Carson plus the lamp from Corgi just to stay alive at Southwestern, nowhere to go. But dead here. Dr. Jargo does get taken down, but Jamal once again with the pick. Now into the backline, Hyperbole in all sorts of trouble, just trying to run away for their life. Meanwhile, Hawk Killjoy stuck on point, now just trying to back up with the rest of their team. Carson's still cutting them off here, only 13 seconds left. Southwest is back, but it's going to be very difficult to touch here. Corgi has the window in hand.
Yeah, they're gonna use that right. This choke right is engagement here. The pin from Southwest, but just gets punched down by Carson with the damage to the window. Hawk 1 HP, and will get taken down. 2 punch kills here for Carson. And now Hyperbole Zero just trying to touch as long as they possibly can on this point. Swifters rolls in and clicks that high noon, but instantly sent packing. The Cowboys stood no chance in this duel. And Jamal finds Killjoy for a bit of a stat pad right there at the end. And we're getting a point B hold on Kings Row. When's the last time we've seen that, Nave? It's a very rare occurrence. And it honestly just comes down to great alt use as well. The fight before the final one there, Carson had a great nano swarm to bring down the Ravenous Vortex, bring down Warberhawk. Warberhawk was setting up for the barrage, but got taken down with that cooldown, forced to use the barrage on the ground, got the punish with the help of the Annihilation. Carson coming out clutch for the team there on point B.
Yeah, this is a completely different Syndromers team than we saw from map number 1 and 2. You know, one of the biggest complaints we had was that their ult usage didn't really find the value that they needed to. And here, it's the complete opposite. Every single ult from the Syndromers feels like it just has massive impact. Meanwhile, the Hoopoes, you know, using 3 ults in one fight just to kill Carson. Yeah, it got them the win, but it doomed their economy for the rest of that round, leads to them getting held on point B. Now the Syndromers, not a lot far to push, you know, just cap point A and 111 meters. We got to go back to the bans, right? The Reaper ban used on map number 3 when Jamal was sitting on the bench means they don't have it here for map number 4, and Jamal has put in work on the Reaper here.
Jamal is putting in work, and I can speak for myself as well as you. We've been playing competitive Overwatch for a long time. Reverse sweeps are not common, but the second that you win one map and you get a good half like this, the scariest part you're starting to believe. Like that's the seeds of doubt have been planted now in the Hoopoes' heads, and now the seeds of belief growing for the Spurt Syndromes here. So if they can get this point A in a fairly decent time bank, and it's gonna just bulldoze into the back end of this map, and we're gonna go all the way to 5, I think. It all depends on a clutch plays here from anybody from the Hoopoes. They got to make this work here. Point A or nothing at this point.
We are going to have one swap as Warberhawk off the far over onto the Ash, potentially to put more pressure onto Dr. Jargo, who's just been putting so much work on this fray here. The Syndromers, they're just taking this high ground completely though. Since Southwest was sitting on the low ground, nothing is stopping Carson from just walking all the way, forcing them entirely down here. Keegan Swag did get left alone in choke, but with the Syndromers having all the angles on the high ground here, the Hoopoes just need to kind of bunker together here and hope to stay alive.
Jamal does go down here. Hyperbole Zero caught out. They find Southwest. All his angles just too much for Reinhardt to overcome. And now Killjoy, 1 HP on the staircase. It's going to take eventually the burn on towards Corgi. The burnt dog here, not a good smell, but the numbers heavily favoring now the side of the Syndromers with Carson still standing. Splitters using the high noon here, looking for anything, but the block here from Carson is going to be enough to survive. It will not be, and Splitters finds 2. Jamal and the Sierra from spawn is sent packing, and now a minute and a half off time bank for the Spurt Syndrome attackers, but he did get out and Southwest 27% on the shatter charge. Nothing this man can hit the hammer right now.
Southwest building up that Deadeye so quickly led to them pushing out that fight there, and now, you know, a minute and a half, only 2 minutes off the clock. Dr. Jargo with the bullet in hand. See if that's going to be the thing that gets him over the line here. Southwest playing on this close statue. Going to pin back, but Warberhawk takes the Freya out of the sky before getting traded by the Kuna, Keegs, and Swag. Still 1 for 1. Corgi now 80+% towards their own window, but it's Killjoy who goes with it first now. Carson just forced to LOS it round the corner. We'll see now. Dr. Jargo is back, so temporary man advantage for the Syndromers, but the shatter of the Southwest through the window does get the fire strike. However, the counter window plus the annihilation plus the bolo from Dr. Jargo just gonna run over the Reinhardt. And so eventually the Syndromer is gonna get a first point cap here, a minute and a half on the clock still, so not terrible for them.
Yeah, Hyperbole's probably gonna want that Ray back. I guess you did force Annihilation, not the end of the world, but at the same time, down your Reinhardt, walking into a window after the bullet shots are been used, probably gonna hold on to all this, especially for how strong it is in this choke coming up here on your defensive side, because now you don't have a point C to back up to like most teams used to do on King's Row. You're kind of stuck fighting for this with a very... We see a lot of these cap this very quickly, and thinking Snowball is with King on Swags, Casino Rush to open up this choke. It could be over by a big shatter! Might shut the Snowball right down.
Lamp is there from Corgi. It's a perfectly placed lamp so that neither of them can die to the Hinded of Swifters. So both ultimates negated by one huge immortality field there by the Baptiste. Now, Southwest trying to pin out Carson, not going to hit it. And Dr. Jargo did get that bullet so quickly. It does go wide. Warriorhawk has the bob, but it's not in the greatest spot here. So the Syndromers are just going to be able to kite this one out. Wait out the ultimate now. Jamal with the Sierra ult in hand. Swifters are really low, getting it punched down. Jamal picks up the kill on that one. Killjoy is split on this right side with the Baptiste. Caitlyn Swag running this kill down, taking this 1v1 in support, is going to win that one out as well. Warriorhawk getting staggered is a huge problem as well here. The Syndromers walking forward. Southwest, this stagger could be brutal if they get it.
Of course, it's chasing. Southwest dies.
So hard.
If they die, this map's over.
It does go down. Now, Swifters, a lot of trouble too. Like not available. Just gonna go down. Jamal with another. The forward hold is so brutal here for the Syndromers. They have 3 ults in hand while Corgi just gets to sit on the point and bring it to the golden box of victory. Caitlyn Swag is hiding behind still, even though the rest of the Syndromers have kind of backed up a little bit. See what this.
Oh, and this window's nasty. Wait, Carson?
But they can't touch the point. Lamp on time to save the Reinhardt, and the Spurt Syndromers gonna take us to a map 5.
Yeah, and like I said, they're starting to believe. The scariest part about all this now is that the Syndromers have all the momentum in this series going into map 5. And you kind of use all your bans if you're the Hoopoes. And it's looking like nasty. It's like Carson's kind of downloaded this Ramattra gameplay here. Nice little 5K though from the captain from Overwatch. But yeah, just really nothing in the bank there. 6 and 10 for Southwest, and Reinhardt was doing so well, and that's 1 and 2. But Carson 20 and 4 shuts that down. And right now we are seeing a completely different game here. Anybody's match going in map 5 here, which is going to be Escort. Not usually see Escort come all the way into map 5. And we'll see where we decide to go on Stars break. Don't go anywhere. Map 5 of this banger after this little break.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
Welcome back, everyone. Map number 5 between the Spurt Syndromers and the Horizontal Hoopoes. The Syndromers on the verge of a reverse sweep here. It'd be the first of the season, and what a reverse sweep it would be. It looked doomed after the first 2 maps. Were very dominant for the Hoopoes, but they found new life here in the series and looking to take it out here in map number 5. It is going to be Shambali Monastery as picked by the Syndromers. The Hoopoes going for ban first, taking away the Kiriko of Kingsman Swag. It is going to be the Shion ban in response. Booney, once again, these bans, really interesting. We thought it would be similar to that last map where you could ban away a DPS to protect for the Hoopoes. We thought the Sojourn was really strong here as that's the only hero we've seen Orbital play this entire season.
Yeah, because you not only target out Rice Shower, but you protect Swifter's Shion, which was doing so good in the first few maps of the series, and now Swifters will have to swap off that. They were, going to Echo here. Very tight and closed map. If you're going into Dr. Jarko on the Freya, could be tougher for Swifter, but Shimbone is showing off the Onron, which might just be a spawn room troll here. But looking at support line for the defensive side, Wu Yang and Ana here for both these squads with the Kiriko band. And, Carson back on his Ramatra. I mean, I don't care what happens. Like, I almost want to give Carson like a Jerry West level MVP. He's been putting on some work on the tank so far this entire series, despite going down 2-0 to start things off. Southwest will match the Ramatra, in fact, this time, not wanting to opt for that Reinhardt. And Juno Ana appears to be a backline here for the Hoopoes, and honestly, just the poke from Kikman Swag on the Wu Yang could be a big difference here, especially if you're playing like more brawly style. Any poke damage is huge.
I'm so excited for these 2 Ana matchup. These, I think, are one of the 2 best Anas in the whole league, in my opinion. Both of these people, you would say Ana is their best character, and with the Kiriko ban, it's a perfect time for them to bring it out. So excited to see what they do here. Southwest pushing this payload already past this corner, so Carson didn't really do a good job of stalling that one out. And Hyperbola Zero, with the help of those torpedoes, can get the first pick on to Rice Shower. And so far so good here for the Hoopoes.
Yeah, Southwest with a great form, great push there. Like you said, the kind of an awkward engagement from the defensive side, not really playing for that hard card control. And Kingsman Swag will swap off the Wu Yang, go over on this Baptiste Immortality Field. Simply too valuable in this Ramatra exchange. Sinbone also, don't know if we went back to this Emre, which we saw on Atlas, putting in some fantastic work there. Carson forced to form very early here, so this could be point A capture already, unless a big miracle comes through here for the Syndromers. And not looking good.
Yeah, Shimbone, that grenade, it just takes down Right Shower once again. The first pick is the Sojourn. Carson trying to stall the point as long as possible.
I mean, somehow, wait, what?
Cargo, and Swifter has managed to fall here. He's
what?
Doing just enough to keep this Ramatra alive. Southwest gonna fall.
How?
Goes to everybody.
Just how? I said you need a miracle, and Dr. Jarko said, okay, hold my beer, and pulled out a miracle. 3 picks there for the Freya. And I mean, Carson and Kingsman Swag pairing up, say, like, don't gotta lose that in the chaos there. Carson, no form, like 50 HP. Kingsman Swag hitting the nades. Carson hitting the squats on point to stay alive, and perfectly timed form as well. Wait, C9. Okay, thank God. They noticed very quickly. But Swifter's over onto this Tracer here. I don't know. How you can get past Carson on his high ground? Supports are so defensive on this map. It get tough for Tracer to find the angles to get in there. And we see already half HP. Can't engage, getting marked up by Rice Shower as well. But
just got back to point in time. Carson
the point.
Southwest is 1 HP though, so eventually gonna go down to Dr. Jargo.
Oh, the Stagger.
C9, but the Syndromers do good job of touching there. Dr. Jargo and Kingsman Swag just trading off touches on the point. They are gonna make sure that the cap does not come through. They use 2 ults to make it happen, but now only 1 minute and 20 left for the Hoopoes.
All I gotta say to that is, yeah, that's certainly English. But yeah, Southwest using that annihilation there at the end as well is kind of devastating, because now you're walking into Kingsman Swag's window. It's gonna be tough to walk up on the support line. And once again, I'm questioning Swifters on this Tracer. Just what does this Tracer do? I understand that Ana and Bab is a very diable backline, but they're just so far away, you can't get to him quickly. Shimbone opting in for this nano override protocol though, and just finds Jargo point blank range, and finds another as well. Shimbone again with a clutch here with the override protocol. They're gonna get it over the finish line, but took him the entire time meant to get here. but just not out yet. Hoopoes still have more to play.
Corey gonna get staggered a little bit here. And so the cap does come through for the Hoopoes, cost them the Nano and the Battle Bot, but they still have 2 ults in hand, so ultimately not too upset with that one. We're gonna see the Spurt Syndromers come back here, 2 ults in hand. Dr. Jargo really close to another bolo. This guy builds it seemingly every 40 seconds, so basically a regular cooldown for him, you know.
Yeah, a bit of a early approach from Carson, having Annihilation able to opting to play very aggressively with this form early, but forced to back away from just that pelting damage from Shinbone right now. Swifter's looking in for this Pulse Bomb, is going to hit Corgi there, and there you go, 2 quick kills now as Killjoy hits the nade on the right sharp from way downtown, looking like Steph Curry, and that's going to be just around this corner here. Probably one more contest here, unless Kima's gets staggered out here. 1 HP and no field, and that's going to be it. That's just point B already taken here, a speed run.
Huge stagger there in Keen's swag, and also Killjoy hitting the sleep onto Rice Shower there on that flank just allowed them to pick up the kill onto the opposing captain. So second point, being forced to be given up already. You hit so many ults in the bank for the Syndromers, no chance to use them there, as the 2 quick picks there just completely denied any ability for a team fight. Now going in the third point with a much better time bank, 3:18 on the board here.
And the Iliari swap.
So Keegan swapped over to the Alari. Interesting here. Dr. Jargo does go for the bull on the angle, but she gets taken down by Shinbone and Swifter is there on the side. Carson on point, Nano. Actually, no, it's Right Shot with the Nano overclock on point. Both Ramatros just block slopping it in front of each other with the Annihilation.
It's a sumo wrestling match!
Big Overwatch here as they are just standing completely menacingly. Eventually, it's a sleep from Corgi ending the staring contest, but no,
they're still doing it!
Back up and they're just right-clicking. The rest of the team, though, going down. It is traded 1-for-1. Eventually, the Annihilation's gonna run out. It's a huge anti from downtown by Killjoy. Takes down the opposing Ana with the help of Southeast, and somebody's gotta get to the payload to touch. It's another sleep from Killjoy, and it's a 2:29 cap here for the Hoopoes.
Yeah, what a bounce back. Look at how poorly point A went for your attack, so point B and C absolute breeze capping with over 2 minutes is crazy here for the Hoopoes. What a turnaround there at the end. And yeah, once again, it seemed like the Syndromers started to panic after that first fight on B didn't go exactly their way. We saw some weird swaps coming through. We saw some untimely ultimates, which we haven't seen the last 2 maps. So maybe the pressure of pulling off their reverse sweep might be gaining them a little bit there, especially how close they were on point A. The clutch comes through for the Hoopoes, and now completely on the back foot once again is the Syndromers. Do they have it yet another level to achieve here in this series? Because they got pulled for reverse sweep and almost going to bring themselves back in this series, in this map, in this mental game, which isn't always the easiest thing.
Yeah, just some really questionable plays, I thought, by the Syndromers. You know, point B and C there at the start, they had, 2-3 ults in hand, in the bank, but instead the DPS are looking for these heroic flanks, and it just cost them their lives, and so you end up, losing the fights before you even really get a good chance to use your own ultimates. Just not a good recipe for success. Now they have to bring it back here on attack. Keeks and Swag going to start on this Lucio. We mentioned this, that we saw a little bit of this last season. Could be a good look here with the Kiriko ban, and Dr. Drago going to go back to the Genji that we saw in map number 1 and 2.
Yeah, I think just the lack of speed on the other half for Carson was an issue. Carson couldn't get in with their form like we've seen all series, and now with Lucio, way more able to fight off these angles and just take the space they need for the team to work. But Rice Shower gets caught in the Ravenous Vortex of Southeast and taken down the headshot from way downtown with that staff. And that's going to be 2 quick kills here. They do get Swifters, though, so if they just survive here, they got spawns, they got numbers.
It's a huge kill onto Swifters there. The rest of them should be able to stable up as well. So a brief 4v5 advantage now for the Syndromers. We'll see if they want to take this high ground angle. It is going to be Geeks, Dr. Drogo, and Carson making their way up to this high ground. The slow from Southeast not going to connect.
Oh, what a slow.
Nice anti from Corgi as well onto the opposing Ana. Dr. Drogo going to clean up the kill. Southeast, last one alive here. As soon as that form runs out, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Does get back to the Mega Pack, so should be able to live for now, but they've made it around the corner, and any more staggers could be the end of first point.
Yeah, they do get around the corner. They got two coming back from spawn, but Carson knowing this will take this space up on this corner. And yeah, what a nasty combo there. That 8-nade along with the Raven's Vortex on that rotate away. Caught all the supports. And we're just massive here. Southwest standing still. Switcher's 1 HP, but gets healed up by Killjoy to stay standing. But an early form force from Southwest. Carson had that advantage now. He can easily walk forward and take the space. But Switcher's is way in deep here. Doesn't get punished though.
Corgi forced to use Nade on himself there to stay alive. Carson does get sleep inside this nano boost, and Dr. Jorgo going down as well. Means that this nano is just not going to find any sort of value for the Syndromers. Carson and Corgi, the only ones left alive now, trying to get out with their lives. They are going to be able to escape, but they used one ult for 0 and found no kills.
Yeah, and the fact that Swiffer didn't get punched for that flank is devastating for the side of the Syndromers, because they fell like 1 HP, but got into that small room just in time to get that Mega Pack, and came out and got a pick over on towards the Rice Shower. So Swifters with a timely flank there on the Echo will go onto this Tracer once again. Our Jargo with the Blade in online. Carson on Ice will to match out towards Southwest, but Nano is ready to go. Nano Override Protocol once again. The combo for the Hoopoes has found success to do it again.
Dr. Jargo going with the Blade. It's an anti from Killjoy. Nano as well onto the BattleBot of Shinbone, who shuts down the Blade and Genji. This BattleBot not really finding many targets because the rest of the team has kind of already fallen to Southwest and Swifters. And so Keegan and Sweat Carson last alive here. They've fallen back. 1:20 left to go. And still ult in the back for the Hoopoes.
Yeah, we're gonna have your beat here if you're the side of the Syndromers. You can easily push this through, knowing that Nano BattleBot's out of the way now. Southwest still held on to nice to match with Carson here. Maybe another sumo wrestling match can occur on this point, but Dr. Jargo going in way deep. He's ended up and gets punished by Killjoy. Killjoy basically single-handedly taking on Dr. Jargo. This fight is a huge opening pick, down ults, and now up numbers.
Syndromers deciding not to disengage completely here. They've just kind of stalled it out, looking maybe for some more frontline pressure. Eventually, though, they are going to back up, reset this for what is looking to be the last fight here. If they don't get the cap, the reverse sweep, it all comes down to this. Can they get it done, or are they going to get here on first? Sleep, though, on a Swifters from Corgi. Good start now for the Syndromers. Still, though, the Hoopoes ult in hand if they want to try to turn this fight. Southwest Annihilation comes first. It's a sleep on a Carson, but the beat is well timed from Keegan Swag to make sure the tank is nice and healthy. Eventually, their match is going to go down, and they keep the push going. What a sleep by Corgi.
Dodge the pulse as well. Dodge the pulse that hits the sleep on his Swifters. An absolute gap there for Corgi and Swifters in that fight. Recall Fortress. Swifters might get staggered if they're not careful. Swifters trying to get back to the team. Killjoy keeping up as best they possibly can. And it looks they will get away as Keegan Swag has to retreat. And might get punished themselves here. Keegan Swag 1 HP.
Gets the mini and the nade. What a nade, Corgi.
Someone gets out of that one. They're going to start moving their way up this point here. Hyperbole will have the Orbital Ray to recontest, but Corgi the Nano probably over on towards Carson to negate this space and force this fight where they want it.
Swifters in the back line, looking for Rice Shower, but does do enough to stay alive. The Nano boost on a Carson, who's found his way to the back line, punching 2. Does get traded by Keegs, and Swifters actually with 2 punch kills of their own. Not quite as big as the Ramatra, but just as effective. Killjoy so low, eventually going down to Dr. Jargo. So it's
deathmatch.
2 for 2 fight here. Both Ramatras now punching each other on point with the help of 1 DPS. Swifters recall 4, Southwest so low, gonna go down. Hyperbole just not back in time to save the life of their tank. And so a small advantage after all that to the Syndromers. Swifters is hiding behind, though, with the pulse bomb.
Does have pulse bomb here, is sneaking up behind. Corgi doesn't seem to be too aware of this flank just yet. Still pumping in healing over on towards Carson. I'm whispering because I'm like ready to golf clap for this. I don't want the Swifters position to give it away. Goes for it and just pulses the cart. The flat tire. Oh my god! Dr. Jargo just melted, but they get the pick over on towards Purple Zero. Might not be enough here. Carson trying with Annihilation, but that grenade from Shinbone does enough to end the Ramatra's life. And that's 2 ults for 0 kills there for the Syndromers. And once again, they're on the back foot.
Absolute disaster for the Syndromers there. Dr. Jargo pulls out the blade, instantly gets antied by Killjoy, taken down. Carson also choosing to use the Annihilation on 100 HP, down a few members. I probably would have saved that one for the last fight, but instead the Syndromers not really have any ults here. Both supports 30% away from them. 2 ults for the Hoopoes. It's the Nano BattleBot. What we've seen brings so much success throughout the series, and once more to close it out, Shinbone going in with the BattleBot.
Was it too early? Oh, my.
For Shinbone. Carson, nowhere to go. It's a 4K for Shinbone. 10 seconds left. Someone from the Syndromer is gonna have to touch it. Last second swap. It's the Tracer. It's the Doomfist, but I don't think anyone's gonna get there. Not gonna be reverse sweep. The Hoopoes gonna get the job done. Map number 5 gonna win their first match of the season.
Now the Hoopoes coming out clutch when their team needed the most. That they are gonna pop out with it over protocol and nano combo again. Shinbone is 3 for 3 on maps they played and play the games. By the way, just a star player here in the making here for the Hoopoes, and just hitting it where they need it. Just nasty little shots there on the ultimate. But I think a good show for both these teams. I think both showing good fight here. Just both in general starting out season 0-1, coming in, giving it their all, and the Syndromers coming back for the reverse sweep potential. Not saying die just there, but the Hoopoe is just simply too much to overcome in the final map of map 5. As the Cyber Fray kill is just too much here for Shinbone.
Yeah, so close, but so far for the Syndromers. You know, close only matters in horseshoes and hand grenades, and here we're playing Overwatch, so they are gonna walk out of here with their second loss of the season, now 0-2. You know, we'll see what they can do to turn around their season. Still a long way to go, but a lot of work ahead of them. Meanwhile, the Hoopoes, they get a nice bounce back here, still potentially looking to finish in the upper half of this group with a match up next week with the Super Saiyans. But now, Booney, it is our job to decide match MVP. I got one in line. I have a feeling it's the same person as what you think.
I'd hope so, because only one player in this series didn't lose a single map they played. I hope that we're thinking about the same guy here. Mine would probably have to go towards Shinbone. I think I mean, also considering he's like one of the 3 players actually on this team, so you can't like give it to Swifters, you can't give it to Southwest. But yeah, I think that Shinbone had a fantastic showing. You know, I never knew that Shinbone had the Emery on him like that, but definitely someone I'm gonna keep my eyes on now from now on. I think that Shinbone, you know, had a bit of a slower season last season, but this season might be starting to make a name for himself in this league.
Excited to see what the future holds for this Hoopoes team. We'll see if we can bring Shinbone in here potentially for an interview. Potentially. Yes, there he is. Hello, Shinbone. Congratulations on your victory and your match MVP.
Oh, bang! Okay. Am I getting like interviewed or something?
Yes, his interview.
That's correct.
Yeah, first question is just like, you know, it was close there. Your team almost got reversed swept, but you came in map number 5. You know, what was the mental like going into that map, and what were you guys able to do to like turn around and get the win?
Realistically, we wanted to play towards our game plan. We recognized early, especially on Lijiang Tower, not Lijiang Tower, especially on Atlas, we saw really early is that Carson is kind of Thanos, and what he wants to do is to walk down on us. And so if we can angle max super hard, Swifters and I were communicating really hard to angle max, as well as Killjoy, to be able to flip the map, and whenever to really focus down Carson. The backline, me and Swifters were trying really hard to focus on the same guy and shoot the same guy at the same time. I thought we did very well. Southwest also recognized that he needed to just anchor down on point. We saw in Runasapi that anchoring down on point was really important, and when we didn't do that, we kind of got too separated and were able to fall apart. So once we were really meshing well together, we recognized what we wanted to do. We could really get it to him.
Yeah, I mean, the game plan seemed to work. You know, you come into a match with 2 ringers, you never know how things are going to gel together, but this team's been playing for years on the back of each other with that one. I want to talk about you personally because, you know, we've seen you in the past. You played a lot of this Genji, you know, a little bit of the Mei from last season. But you showed a lot of flexibility here with that Pharah, the Genji, the Emre especially was a standout. So was like an emphasis for you to become more flexible in your hero pool, or is it just working out in this team more to play to your strengths?
Yeah, actually, most definitely, I'm trying to become a lot more flexible. My teammate who is unfortunately not able to make it, Banana Shake, he is to be frank, a better player than me. He is a better player than me, and his hero pool is pretty much the same. And so, looking forward into the season, I'm definitely going to try and broaden my scope. I did pull out Emre a little bit last season, and I thought it was okay. But I'm definitely going to try and pull out more hit scan. And in our different flex compositions, I'm definitely going. If we're writing double flex, I'm going to definitely look into other things because obviously my most comfortable character last season was Genji Tracer. But now that there's new character Shion, that character's giga busted. I should probably learn that character. I really don't want to learn that character. I'm ethical.
Go ahead, Fish.
But I definitely want to, especially Emre and Sojourn. That character's also busted. I need to play that character more.
Yeah, absolutely. I got one more question here. It doesn't really relate to this game, but last week we saw you pull out the Lucio in map number 1. Is that something you guys are going to play more of, or are you going to do more of what we saw this week where it's just going to be you and Warper Hawk 1-for-1ing?
We could definitely see it down the line. Because Squid, as you guys know, is a really hard Rhine player. We have our Rhine Brawl comps, and then we have that bigger flexibility with Killjoy, and Killjoy loves to play dive and Winston. So maybe we'll be looking towards that. I don't know if Lucio in particular, because we do like to play Juno a lot, so we might see more Brig. I chose Lucio on offense because I didn't really want to play Brig offense on them Bunny. I didn't know how comfortable I would be. However, if we do end up playing more Killjoy dive, you could definitely see me on Lucio and Brig on main support. Don't count it because I don't want to Ajax again.
Well, I'd be excited to see it more in the future. Potential shapeshifter, winner a little early in the season, but we've seen the flex DPS plus the hit scan, add support into that as well. Might as well run away with the award. But once again, congratulations to you. Before you go, though, I got one more question to ask. It is, of course, El Clasico. If you weren't MVP and had to give it to someone else on your team, who would it be and why?
And it can't be a ringer.
Oh, damn it. I was going to give it to Southwest because he had a lot. He was a pretty big part with his communication and stuff. But honestly, now that I think about it, probably not even Southwest. I thought Killjoy was very good throughout the entire game. We saw his purples on Shambali were amazing, but I think he was really instrumental in my success in particular. I definitely saw on Lijiang Tower and Atlas, he gave me all the care that I needed because I was taking a little bit too much damage, but he was really instrumental in all of his and all the angles that me and him were taking. He really helped me stay alive, and he also did a lot of work keeping everybody else alive with his Suzus are really good and his purples are really good. He also was consistently sleeping everybody, so I like that. And of course, you can always press nano on the character, but
I mean,
yeah,
we saw
Killjoy.
3 for 3 play the games, but I think all 3 of them were with the assist of a nano boost on the back of it. But yeah, I mean, with that being said, a big congrats on the first win of the season, finding the reverse sweep and first player of the match. We hope to see you again here soon, Shimbo, and send you back to your team to celebrate.
Thanks for having me.
And that's going to do it for us there, Nave. A great day of Overwatch here. We had a map 4 between the Kita-sans and the Marshmallows earlier today. We had a map 5 almost reverse sweep with the Hoopoes and the Syndromers. So, yeah, honestly, it's a great day of Overwatch.
Yeah, it's been fantastic, and more to come the rest of this week. I don't believe we have any games tomorrow, but there are going to be some games which I believe are going to be prodded on Thursday, so be sure to be on the lookout for those. But for now, we're going to have to say goodbye for the night. That is going to be it for the prod. For Booney and Greg on the prod, I've been Nabe. Good luck, everyone, and have a good night. Stay safe.